And there's the countdown is here.
Hello and welcome everyone to Rob Has a Podcast. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and we are here tonight to talk about this Tuesday night episode of Big Brother Canada 11. We got more details about the double eviction in case you wanted them. We got new details about the new HOH in case you wanted them. Out with the old and in with the same old, I guess, in terms of strategy for nominations. And, hopefully not all of us on this panel are brainless. So we'll talk it through. With me tonight is Rob. How you doing, Rob?
Doing good, Taran. We're only 1 week away from finale week. We're gonna be together. I mean, it's get hyped. Wake up, Canada!
Wake up, Canada! Oh boy, a man who is definitely awake with us now is Scally. How you doing, Scally?
Oh, hello. I am awake. I am good. I'm saying I feel like the episode after the double eviction is the new double eviction where we actually get to see what happened that time. So I'm excited to be here.
All right. And finally, sorry, I was going to make a 17-second joke, but it just didn't feel right, Aysha. Aysha's with us tonight. How you doing, Aysha?
I'm doing well. I mean, we're a minute 40 into this podcast, way past 17 seconds. So, I think we'll do better than what we witnessed tonight. But I'm doing well. I'm excited to be here. Excited to see y'all next week.
Yes.
Yeah. We're doing it.
It's gonna be fun.
Are you bringing any dogs?
I wish. I wish. I wish I could bring both of them. I probably could swing Cinnamon on a plane right now because she's still kind of tiny. But no, just me, solo dolo.
All right. Well, we are here to talk about tonight's episode of Big Brother Canada 11. It felt like the first half or so was dedicated to what we missed during the double eviction, which apparently was like 10 times as long as it was in the actual episode. And then we got a very quick HOH competition. Honestly, one of my favorites of the season.
Because
really
it was so
didn't waste
quick?
any time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting like a 2-part, like long, end the episode with the winner. We don't even get noms kind of thing. And just like that, it was over.
I was still trying to figure out what the point of the competition was, and it was over. I'm like, oh, it was just because I literally thought like, oh, okay, Anika won the first round. Like, let's see how.
I'm so used to just tuning out the instructions at the beginning because they go over it like 15 more times while they're playing that I was like, yeah, don't need to listen to this. Oh, they're falling. Okay, I guess Anika wins the first. Wait. That's it?
Yeah, I feel like BBUS has taken to the style of editing where they have someone fall in the HOH as their like mid-sentence, and then 2 for the price. Oh, nope, the competition is over and elapsed time 17 seconds. Okay, sure.
Yeah, they did the whole Daniel, like, I think I worked in retail. I can last in this competition. Oh, I fell. But then the actual competition ended like 2 seconds after that. And it was like, I feel like the competition just did to you what you were doing to Daniel.
I was ready to give Anika her credit. Like, okay, girlie finally won a competition. She's in this. Watch her in the end game. All she did was not get interrupted by Daniel.
She's out here like, I worked so hard for this HOH win.
You know what? Hope is really going to respect this, though. When we talk about the jury resume, everyone's going to be able to point to these 17 seconds.
Yeah. Look, everyone knows what we want to joke about, okay? Everyone watched Big Brother 24, we don't need to go there.
Danny in the chat says it was 1.7 Kyles.
That's generous.
Oh boy. Well, before we got to the HOH competition, there was a lot of Claudia's double eviction HOH. And there's been a lot of talk about Ty, obviously. Ty, who had up until now really not played a very good game. Not done very well with the social or strategic angles of the game, but he'd been winning some comps. And then we see this double eviction. We're like, whoa, did he just talk Claudia into not nominating him so that he could pull off this move? This doesn't seem like the Ty that we know. And then lo and behold, we get into this episode, and the conversation that makes this happen is Claudia going to Ty and saying, okay, Ty, so here's what I want to do. I want to not put you on the block. He's like, okay. She's like, and if one of them wins the veto and I have to put up Shania, I don't want you to vote out Shania. Oh, well, how come? Because Shanea's on my side. I don't want Shania to go, okay? Just please don't vote out Shania. I mean, I guess. Okay. And if you win the veto, you're not going to use it. Okay. Okay. Woo! Man, Ty, he's got some manipulation skills, let me tell you. The way that he convinced Claudia to not put him on the block.
It's absurd. I was so convinced coming out of Thursday that he made such a strong case for her to not only not put him on the block, but to put up Shania, all to find out this was all her idea.
Yeah, I was just about more impressed with every single person in the house before we got to see what actually happened in this double eviction. I was giving it like a crumb of the benefit of doubt and too much.
Nobody came away from this episode looking like they knew how to play Big Brother.
Not a soul.
No.
Could any part of it be like that Ty's reputation like precedes him? She's already thinking like, yeah, he's coming. He's going to win the veto anyway. So I might as well not put him on the block because I don't want to antagonize him.
No,
Yeah.
because the literally only situation is that you have to put up one of your allies.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're right in the sense that it's like it's not something that Ty is actively doing. It's just the fact that he has won a competition every week for the last, 5 or 6 weeks or whatever. That you're just like, as she said, it's like, if I can't beat him, I guess I gotta join him. It's like this constant pressure that's forcing you to not be able to think properly. It's not something that he is manipulating. It's just his presence, the fact that he's winning comps is like this agitation that causes errors to happen. When you're really down in points, when you're playing sports and you're like, I'm desperate to get the points, or you're like really low on time and you're trying to desperately make something happen. You're going to make more mistakes because you're much more pressured. I feel like that's what we're getting here, where it's just like, well, I don't know what to do with this guy. He keeps winning and it keeps messing everything up. I guess we've tried nominating him a bunch of times. Should we try not nominating him? Should we try doing that? That doesn't work either. That's even worse. What do we do?
Yeah, I mean, the thought was definitely there where like Ty definitely benefited from the idea of like, well, if I put him up, he's just going to take himself down and then he'll be mad at me. But the thing was like, and then what? And then when he does win, like you expect, then what happens, Claudia? And the third step, not thought about. We got to step 2, not step 3.
Literally, with a game of so many unknowns, Big Brother Canada, you never know what's going to happen. Like
Expect the unexpected.
As they always say on Big Brother
on
Canada.
Survivor. Yeah,
and on Survivor. But the one constant at this point is Ty wins vetoes, right? We've seen it happen time and time and time again in these leading up to the double. So all you can think is, okay, if we know that this is the case, let's operate as if he will win the veto. Okay, let's put him in a position where he only has to save himself. Not, this will be the first time in this entire game that the veto won't be used. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's easy to forget that like this has been their reality for the last, like 2 months, and Ty's basically been immune for like a month and a half of those 2 months. So I think you do get to a place where you're just like, yeah, he's just obviously if I try to take him out, this is gonna make him more mad at me. So I guess I won't do that. And then she just clearly did not think through what would happen. I think even when she said you wouldn't use the veto if you won it, I don't think she even realized what would happen if he won it and did decide to use it. I have to imagine that if she did, she'd at least consider another option. But I mean, we even hear it by the end of the episode that she's like, I don't know, I guess we'll just go to the final 2 together.
I mean, that's the thing, is it almost should be the easiest end game to plan around. Like, there are 2 sides. Ty is going to win the veto, and now what? Like, plan around that, because you know the facts, and as long as you have like as many variables, like as few twists in front of you, then you only have to think through one scenario rather than like, what if this person wins? What if this person wins? Like, just go with the 99% probability.
Does Big Brother Canada need a veto nullifier? Okay, hear me out. All right, there could be a power that somebody gets to nullify the veto. Think about it.
I don't know. I think they just need to not have so many physical comps. I think that's probably fine.
Okay.
You might be onto something, Rob.
I don't know.
So many Wendy's points.
Do we know what the Wendy's points do yet?
No.
Yeah. I'm going to ask somebody when I'm in Toronto. I'm going to go to a Wendy's. I'm going to go talk to the manager of a Wendy's. See if I can find out what's up.
I'm almost convinced to go get like a small fry at Wendy's while I'm in Canada, just to be on brand.
French sticks.
Like, are you paying in money or points?
Kuzi gave me her points.
I mean, if I go, what I've learned from Big Brother Canada is if I go to Wendy's, all I have to do is go up to the counter and say, so I won HOH. Where's the you guys got like a Big Brother Canada player behind the counter there, like around in the kitchen maybe?
Are you my mom?
Ready for my meal?
Yeah. Just
what's going on here?
There's a tab under Kuzi. She has about 100,000 points. Please.
Yeah.
Might be under Big Daddy K. See if you have that.
Oh boy. I like, okay. I want to preface this by saying I have a lot of sympathy and empathy for Claudia and the situation that she's in with Ty, the way that he treats her and all of that. However, and not however, because that's genuine. But my natural reaction to Claudia crying with the girly pops about which one of them had to leave was to laugh. And I don't know if that makes me a bad person, but it was funny to me to watch them upset about their mistakes.
Yeah. 2 things can happen. Like, I cannot like have the dynamic between Ty and Claudia. Also, it's funny that this situation keeps happening. Where,
like in the game, it's funny that she screwed up so bad that she's sitting there crying with her friends about how badly they screwed up. At the same time, like I feel for her with the way that this relationship is shaping up.
Yeah, I mean, it's pure toxicity, that relationship. But then that's its own entity. Claudia, as an HOH, she needs to understand that she can make a decision. I just don't get why it never crossed her mind. He wants Shania out. What if I don't put up Shania? Will he vote out Renee? I'd be willing to take that risk because at least I can keep my number 1. Her hand, like, I mean, maybe that relationship isn't its own entity. Maybe he has that much influence over her unconsciously that she just doesn't want to make him mad because she knows how he talks to her.
I mean, she's been willing to risk Renee in the past. Like, why not now? It's like, I don't know how to choose. Like, you've chosen. You have made this choice before.
And it's like in that conversation that I was talking about, where Ty is like, "Oh, you want me to vote to keep Shania?" Like, oh, why though? Like, obviously, hiding it very well that he's upset about her asking that. But that was, as Ty tells us, that was where she messed up.
And that was where she f***ed up.
Yeah, she shouldn't have asked him to vote to keep her ally in the game. That's just an F up of terrible. Because listen, this is the thing about Shania.
I can't have all three of them here, especially Shania, because she doesn't listen to anybody. Super annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, that is super. You ever have somebody that doesn't listen to you? It is annoying.
Doesn't listen to anybody.
I got to give that to Ty.
If she listened to other people, she doesn't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
It's not just Ty, obviously. If she just doesn't listen to Ty, she'd be fine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have two small animals that never listen to anything I say. So I can relate. That is annoying.
Yeah, I often hear Aysha in the background when she thinks she's muted being like, listen, I can't have you both here, okay? One of you needs to go because you don't listen to me.
All the time. This episode was just so much more frustrating to just see that he had nothing to do with this. I would have walked away from tonight's episode feeling way better had he given this great argument, put his case, like laid down the facts to Claudia, how he could get to the final two with her, and really sold it. And I'm like, I would have been like, hey, you look at what he did. Now I can understand. No, it's so in dark.
But at least it's coming from Ty, the king of listening to everyone else's ideas. So, he has legs to stand on.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great listener. I mean, listen to this calm, rational discussion that he had with Claudia and Renee after.
I'm saying that now. It literally doesn't matter. Because yes, we did.
Okay, you're emotional. No. If you're gonna talk to me from an emotional standpoint, I'm talking to Taran. So.
Yeah, I mean, they were being like so emotional, and they weren't using their heads.
Did you say go talk to Taran? Is that what he said at the end? Is that like you go home and go do the exit interview?
Yeah, I mean, we know he's a super fan, obviously. Could you imagine somebody was like, I'm sending you off to talk to Taran.
Yeah. You'll be talking to Taran the day after tomorrow.
Say hi to Taran for me.
Go tell Taran who you're gonna vote for based on your most likely to least likely. Put me right at the top of your list or the bottom, I don't care.
Send Taran my regards.
Yeah, go tell all those emotions to Taran. I'm sure he'll listen. I don't care.
But yeah, I don't know. This was like the scene that like bothered me maybe the most, where it's like, this is a very classic gaslighting technique of like, you're emotional, nothing you're saying is worth listening. Like, come back to me when you can like act like a grown up. Like, no, we're not going to do that. So very much did not enjoy the scene out of Ty. And I don't really feel like we got a follow up outside of him just like, I'm talking to Renee now. Bye, Claudia. I'm like, okay.
He literally just he moved the goalposts like back and forth in that argument. Like, he was like, you guys made a dumb decision to think that I would not take out Shania. And they're like, well, we trusted you. He's like, no. You should not have trusted me because obviously you didn't trust me enough, and you weren't going to take me to the end with Shania because you guys can't separate emotional from strategic. They're like, no, we can separate emotional from strategic. Why do you think I nominated you, Ty? That was me separating emotional from strategic. And he's like, ha, see? So you weren't going to take me. You did choose your girls over me. It's like, you're moving it back over to the other side. You can't say the one thing and then go back to the other thing and then back to the first thing and then you get to always win. That's not how it works.
He'll never be wrong in an argument. That's how he operates. And I'm sure that's how he operates in life. And I'm sure, and I hope all you people on Twitter who are, oh, Ty is so amazing. How could I have ever not liked Ty? I want him to win so bad. This is who he is. He just because he was a little underdog for a few weeks, this is Ty. He is showing his true colors. The gaslight king. This is him. The one who is going to be solely responsible for Claudia just needing all the love and care around her for as long as possible as soon as she gets out of this house. Because I guarantee you, he is going to try to use this relationship. If they make it to final 3 and she wins part 3, best believe he's going to try to, I swear, like, if you don't take me, then I see who you're choosing. And I'll remember that outside of this house. And it's just like the manipulation is it's not where it needs to be in this house. It's total emotional manipulation with Claudia and no strategic manipulation anywhere else. So no, I'm not with y'all.
But yeah, don't you want to see them on The Amazing Race?
Oh my God.
Anybody that in the same breath says, oh, what an idiot, Claudia. Anyway, Ty's my king. Is only insulting themselves when they call Claudia.
Literally.
Yeah, that's the thing is I was almost surprised where I was like, we're getting down to the end. I figured like maybe with the lack of live feeds, we would want to turn the comp beast maybe winner into kind of a hero. Thinking maybe we also just can't edit around it and there's nothing else to show.
They're like, but he just won't be in the episode.
Yeah, like, no, but this is honestly like a big part of this episode to me was I really expected them to attempt, because listen, this is Big Brother Canada. Even when we did have live feeds, they went so far out of their way to make people look way more strategic than they actually were, especially if they were like trying to build up their main character winner energy person, right? I was really expecting them to go in hard on, okay, Ty, he's a little rough around the edges, but look how well he played this double eviction. Look how good he is at the game. And you know what? He's even got a little bit of a soft side. He's welcomed Claudia back into his open arms. Instead, we got, I guess so. And
that was where she f***ed up.
And
I can't have all 3 of them here, especially Chanel, because she doesn't listen to anybody. Super annoying.
And
I'm saying that.
I'm not gonna listen. Let make you listen to that whole thing again. I don't feel like. I mean, at first I was like, okay, they're trying, but they can't edit around it. But that argument between Ty and Claudia and Renee, where he's calling them emotional and telling them to use their heads and so on and so forth, that didn't need to be there. That was just extra content, and they could have easily cut it, and it would have been fine. It's genuinely making me think, if they have any kind of plan at all, maybe the jury isn't as pro-Ty as we think, because I don't know why they would be, if they knew that Ty is winning if he makes it to the final 2 and that he has a great chance to get to the final 2, why would they go in so hard on Ty? Even, I mean, granted, Big Brother US did go in on Mickey, but that was after he lost, or after he won. You know, like they at least wanted you to be impressed by him up until then. It's kind of a strange choice. I'm not mad at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not upset that they're, not manipulating the edit more.
Yeah, but
Taran,
I'm
surprised.
Are you giving them like too much credit here? Like, I feel like that you're almost playing like 4D chess with the edit. And I think maybe you need to like step back and ask yourself, is there anything else that they are playing 4D chess with? Like, why this?
I mean, I think Occam's razor says it was drama, and so they just went with the easiest narrative, which is,
yes. I
mean, it's hard to edit around this for Ty, so they just went for it. But I mean, I say that, but they have gone out of their way to make all kinds of really strange narratives in the past. So I am a little surprised that they're not trying harder with this, but again, I'm not upset. And if they're just, if they just want to show Ty, then they should show die.
Yeah.
I wonder also if maybe they are feeling like it is going to be like a Claudia beating Ty potentially narrative that comes out of it, and they really want to sell that story. Like I feel like that the A story that I feel like they have left is Claudia and Ty. So win or lose, I think they feel like that's probably the most interesting storyline they have left.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's rooting for Claudia or Ty at this point.
Hey, I got them both on my draft.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You saw this showman's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
would question if maybe that's why we're putting 35 minutes of double eviction content in here to like less tie scenes. And so filling it up with that, but who knows?
All right. Well, let's talk about our new HOH after 17 seconds. Ty interestingly said that he was thinking about throwing this competition, but didn't have time to. He just lost it anyway. And so instead, Anika wins the final 5 HOH, and she is faced with a decision. Should she nominate Ty and allow him the ability to use the veto to force Daniel on the block? Or should she, make sure he's on the block so that if he wins the veto, he can't do anything other than take himself off? And luckily, she has a very recent example of what happens when you leave him off the block.
How can Cece be so brainless?
Yeah, simple. Cece was brainless. Anika, not brainless.
Simple math.
Yes. So she leaves him off the block.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, but she can convince him not to use the veto.
She will not allow him to use the veto.
Yeah.
She just thinks if she just puts her foot down. That's why I was so glad Daniel said it. The woman he is kissing and sleeping with, or like sleeping next to, couldn't convince him not to use the veto. What makes you think just because don't use it, Ty? What is she thinking?
The whole conversation just felt so passive to me. Daniel calmly talking about like, you really think he's not going to do it? I mean, Claudia wasn't able to stop him. It's like, Daniel, this is your life on the line. Like, what is the benefit for you if she leaves him off the block? It's not like you get that credit for it. Just get the guy on the block so that you're safe.
It was rough. Like you have around a clear example of Ty forcing the HOH to put up their best friend and get them evicted. And then I'm going to still leave myself open to that same exact possibility. Like, oh, okay. Interesting.
Especially because, in talking about, again, the Claudia double eviction HOH, but like it was especially bad to me that immediately following the double eviction, the one thing that Claudia would hope to get from that whole situation was that maybe at least this would encourage Ty to like work with me and be more loyal to me moving forward, because I technically showed some trust in him. The second the double eviction ends, he's like, yeah, I don't care which pair I'm going to work with. I could go either way. She got nothing from it. The only way she eventually got into Ty's final 2 was when she finally just was like, all right, Ty, I don't care about anybody else in the game. I'll only take you, and I'll just, you're right about everything, basically. That's all she needed. She didn't need to actually not nominate. She could have nominated him and then said, I'm so sorry, you're actually right about everything, and I actually want to bring you to the final 2, and it would have been fine, I think. But instead, no, she had to lose her number 1 ally at her own hands.
At her own hands. Like that's so lost on me. And if you're ever able to ask Claudia, that's the only thing that I want to know from her is why. And I understand, like, in her mind, I'm trying to, like, okay, if I put myself in Claudia's shoes, she's thinking, oh, I have this final 3 with Ty and Renee. Okay. And so Shania is not a part of that. But girl, if you put up Renee and you think that this final 3 is real, then wouldn't Ty not vote out Renee if he's sticking to the like in this twisted logic? I'm just trying. I can't make 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah. Well, we do learn that Kuzi has divulged some information. Kuzi told Ty about the crown, and that is very annoying for Daniel and Anika. And Daniel's response was like, "Oh, so he knows about our jury votes." And my thought process is like, dude, if Kuzi told him about the crown, you certainly don't have Kuzi's jury vote.
Mhm.
Like, are you sure you have the rest? Because I'm not.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny that they're like, it's so annoying. Like, I just can't believe Kuzi would keep betraying us. It's like this. It's like, all right, just because they had maybe the 2 most loyal people in the entire world in Hope and Jonathan go out of the first 2 members of the crown, like, would have loved to see if Daniel's back was against the wall, who he threw under the bus.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's such an obvious move. You have to expect it.
You don't think Kuzi could flip Jonathan and Hope when she gets to the jury house against Daniel and Anika, do you?
I mean,
Yeah.
they adore Kuzi. I feel like she could convince them of anything.
Oh, I would love that. I mean, I don't think that they're getting to the final 2, but that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, basically all of Jonathan, Hope, and Santino left the game saying Kuzi is amazing, number 1. We would have brought her to the final 2. I think that the large chunk of their loyalty to the crown, minus Santino, of course, came from their loyalty to Kuzi. So I think that if Kuzi says, nah, they're actually, 2-timers, spineless, not deserving of the win,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it goes.
And it's a
But who
pretty
knows?
accurate reflection of their game. Even look, during the double, we see Daniel like, oh, should we go talk to Claudia? And Nika's like, no, what if she goes and tells Ty? Who cares? Like, make a move. Even seeing Anika's reaction to Adele and him just calling out people during his nomination speech, I know her jaw on the ground made it seem like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he ever uttered those words, because this is her first time seeing this. And so I'm like, there's just no bold moves. I'm just so disappointed with this final 5 all around.
I thought Anika had a good point there, actually, in the midst of the double eviction. Just the fact that, like, they are at the mercy of Ty in that moment, right? And if they try to subvert the will of Ty before the veto is used, then something could change and they could be done. Like, their first priority should be everything should remain the same because we're actually going to survive this. More so, in my opinion, than like, let's try and eke out a couple of extra percentage points by trying to get Renee out instead of Shania. I just feel like it was probably too dangerous for what it was worth.
Yeah. Well, especially when it's like, let's get Claudia to keep Shania here. If we win HOH, we're going to have to put at least one of them on the block, and we don't want to put Ty up, so we're going to put both of them up anyway. Like, what are you arguing for in that spot?
Can I also talk about, like, Shania, we saw in the double eviction, obviously we see this moment in this episode as well. She's like, okay, you deserve to be here more than me, Renee. And they have this big moment where they're both kind of like, well, no, you should stay. No, you should stay. But then, there's all this other stuff happening, right? Like, after Ty wins the veto, it feels like they've got like an hour to chat, right? There's so many different scenes. Shania finally talks to Renee alone, and she's like, you're not actually putting me up, though, right? Like, I do want to be here. And actually finally starts, like, fighting for her life. And after all this time and all these conversations, Big Brother's like, okay, now get to the living room, please. Please stop. Don't listen to Shania. Get to the living room now. Don't let Shania talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's up with that?
I don't get it. It looked like Ty had like racked up 8 games of pool somehow during the double eviction. And like, at least good on Renee for going to talk to Ty and being like, there's a chance I get put up here, like, please don't use it, and like making that pitch, where Shania was just like glued to Claudia, and then unless Claudia wanted to go have talks that did not benefit Shania. Like, that's the only thing we saw from her in this eviction.
Yeah. As mentioned, we had some Wendy's. We had a winner's outfit. What were any thoughts on the winner's outfit? Because my chat was not a fan. Not a fan of the winner's outfit.
Look pretty business cash to me.
Where would she wear that?
Friday at the office. Maybe for drinks after work.
Would you wear that at Friday at the office?
I would.
There you go.
Maybe I'll stop by Winners when I'm in Toronto next week. Get a
Maybe.
makeover.
We
Bring
have
in
some
some
errands to
Wendy's.
run. We got to go to Wendy's. We got to go
Yeah,
to
let's
Winners.
do it, Asia. Okay, I need some people to help me pick out my outfit at Winners.
Bel Air Direct.
I think I'm probably good on insurance.
Travel
What else?
insurance, maybe.
Can I tell you? I actually did buy a Shark Ninja product this week.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yes, I purchased a Ninja Creamy.
I have
Oh,
one.
okay. There you go. Yeah.
Yes. You like it, Asia?
I do.
Yeah.
I've made sorbet. I've made ice cream. It's pretty
The
nifty.
TikToks got me.
They're pretty effective. Do you have a review yet? Have you used it?
You got the stuff in the freezer tonight, Taran. I'll tell you
Okay.
tomorrow.
Ah.
There you go. Okay, winner's outfit. I was not expecting Adele. I will tell you that. I thought Betty. I thought Brayden. I thought maybe even like a Kayla or something. Was not expecting Wake Up Canada.
Did they miss a promotional opportunity to say tonight on an all-new Big Brother Canada? Check out Adele stopping by. And people are like, "Oh my God, Adele coming fresh off of Carpool Karaoke is going to be making an appearance on Big Brother Canada. I gotta watch that tonight. Go easy on me, baby."
I'm not aware of this. What he was on carpool karaoke.
The singer Adele.
Not
It's a
that
name
Adele.
pun.
The other Adele.
Oh, I see.
But then Big Brother Canada could have been, where's the lie? We promised Adele. Here's Adele. Because I don't think she was. Yeah, I feel like I don't know when she broke out, but I feel like that might have been right before or right after this Adele.
I would
Big
say
Brother
probably
Canada
before,
too?
right?
Yeah, it's whenever Hello was.
You could convince me. at any time.
25. Okay, she's like 31, 32 now, right?
Yeah.
And 25 was that first album, I think, 7 years ago. What's the math?
I feel like we would have been talking about it at the time.
What's that?
I feel like we would have been making all the Adele jokes.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm trying to because it was Big Brother Canada 2 was when I learned about Adele in college, and Big Brother Canada 2 happened while I was in college as well.
Okay, so it was right around the same time.
Roughly the same time.
Yeah, Hello came out in 2015.
Okay. A few years after Big Brother Canada 2.
So close.
All right. Well, yeah, the Adele came. Anything else to say about Adele?
I thought it was hilarious that when she came up, Daniel was like, "Oh," she's like, "Who do you know?" He guessed that it was Adele, and she's like, "How'd you know?" It's like, I heard "Wake Up Canada."
Did he fight anybody on Celebrity Net Fights?
I think he did.
Ooh, I think so.
Was it Big Brother US? Was it Nick?
Was it Enzo? Was it Nick? Was it?
I don't remember.
I'm trying to find the card.
He fits right in that crowd.
Yeah. I don't know if he did.
Or maybe he
was on the one
fight.
that didn't happen.
That's also.
Oh, because he organized it?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
Oh, was he one of the announcers?
Do you think he tried to like get a
Live
promo
play-by-play.
in on the episode?
They edited it out.
He did. Yes, he did. I thought this was a little far, a little too far. Adele does the crown gesture to Anika. I mean, especially considering that like it's a busted alliance at this point.
Yeah.
Like kind of weird to throw that one in.
Yeah, I mean, did Adele know that this is a busted alliance by this point? I'm not sure.
I just feel like that's the sort of thing that wouldn't be allowed, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like that's like outside information.
I mean, it was a tragic alliance, just one after another as soon as they formed. So I don't know. I think it would make a difference because I could see it as her, like if she were reading into it, she could think, oh, I need to stay loyal to Daniel, but that's not even on the table. So
if I was in the house and one of the house guests did the crown thing to me, I'd be like, oh, yeah, crown's a big thing, huh? Like they're still loyal. I thought they hated me, but maybe they don't.
It's huge.
Yeah,
probably how King Charles feels. It's like I thought everybody hated me. We're still doing the thing. We're still gonna put the thing on. Okay, all right. I thought you guys were out. All right.
Oh. So
I thought it was cool that he was able to tell her Eid Mubarak. You know, when they were shared culture, you know.
There you go.
That one took me a second.
Okay.
I thought you were going to talk about his advice to her, which was
no.
Don't do the walk of shame.
No.
Great advice. Great advice. Never want to do the walk of shame in Big Brother. Yeah.
Only to see Taran.
The walk of shame.
Yeah, the walk of shame is oh hi Taran. Taran, is that your name? Taran? So ultimately Anika does, as we said, decide not to nominate Ty. She nominates Claudia and Renee for eviction, leaving Ty off the block once more. In fact, they said they're not even trying to take Ty out. They're looking to maybe bring Ty to the final three, which from our perspective is a pretty wild decision because we know that Kuzi is probably going to be able to convince a lot of people to vote for Ty. From their perspective, I can kind of see, or at least from Daniel's perspective, I can kind of see where, like, a couple of weeks ago, I would have told you, yeah, this is a great, like, plan B for Daniel, is to bring Ty to or have Ty bring you to the final two, because you can beat Ty with your crown votes. The problem is, I don't think Daniel realizes how detrimental it was for Kuzi to not be pro Daniel heading to the jury and being very pro Ty. I don't think he anticipates that Kuzi will be able to flip like 5 votes against him when he's sitting next to Ty, and that could very much be the downfall of him.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm here for it. I'm here for it because I don't like the idea of like, oh, I've got banked jury votes. My alliance is gonna vote for me. You know, I think he's coasting on that. Feels like a cheat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he does. I think he does have good relationships with all of them as well. But the problem is they have better relationships with Kuzi. And you'd think I have a much better relationship with them than Ty does, which is true. But sometimes it's a little more complicated than that.
Yeah. I mean, when Daniel was saying, like, I can't believe we're going to go to the final 3 with Ty, I'm like, I cannot believe it either. But I'm also wondering if they were just accepting, like, all right, well, Ty's going to comp out and be at final 3, and then we will also be there with him. So
I have to imagine that the first time Ty loses a competition, loses a veto, I should say, you're going to, like, again, there's this sort of mentality that it's impossible to get the guy out. And when something is when you ram your head into a solid wall a bunch of times and it keeps hitting and hurting, eventually you're like, I'm just going to stop trying. But when you see that the wall is not there anymore, all of a sudden you're like, wait, maybe I can try to go past it again. Like, it opens up a whole world that you, even though it seems obvious, I think you don't really think about in the house, which is like, wait a minute, we thought we had to work with Ty because he'd just keep winning, but he didn't win. So do we have to work with Ty?
I don't think, I think it'll be like a dog running into a glass door. And then once the glass door is open, the dog's like, I'm not touching that again. As soon as Ty is available, they're going to think, but no, at this point, I think I'm working with Ty. So can't, I'd rather not.
Yeah, I mean, that's very possible as well. And it could depend on like how long they have to think it through and all of that. But, you know, it's also worth noting, Ty, not great at his days. He, you know, he's competent enough that he could probably crush anybody in a physical days competition, which they tend to do a lot of at the end of Big Brother Canada. But a straight up quiz based on days with questions that are at least a little bit harder than what day did you know, the fourth HOH win. He's probably going to struggle enough that he would probably lose. Granted, you know, Claudia is teaching him, coaching him up on getting him prepped on those days. So if you're hoping for a Claudia cutting Ty at the end, you better hope that glass wall doesn't look like it's there for her.
Just getting stopped by the glass wall.
Yeah. Whereas
women in the season, they can't get through the glass wall.
Yeah, Claudia has been running into that glass wall week after week. Has not learned.
Yeah. But that is a good point, though, because, you know, I think we always think of Kevin and, you know, the success he had in Big Brother Canada 5 just comping out. But Ty, while that he does have like the physical prowess to dominate these contests, that he is not Kevin when it comes to his knowledge of the show.
Yeah, I talked about that on the roundtable, but Kevin Martin basically won every single competition he played in, minus one that he threw from the final 8 on, including everything that was, you know, anything that had to do with quizzes or anything like that. Like, he just had it all so much more down than anybody else that he couldn't lose any competition. Ty has only won half of the competitions that he's played in, you know, week to week so far, since he started winning. And, you know, prior to that, only like roughly like 38%, because he keeps losing the HOH competitions, which tend to be like, there have been a few quizzes now that he just hasn't performed super well in. Not terribly, but, you know, missing enough questions that somebody who does know their stuff really well is probably going to beat him. So he isn't unbeatable. It's just that, you know, the vetoes have very much been to his favor. You know, of the competitions he's won, only one of them hasn't been super physical. And that was the one he only won by 4 seconds. And so it's like, it was a situation where, you know, there were 3 people competitive in that competition, and he was one of them. And Kuzi screwed up by taking too many temptations. Daniel spent 4 seconds too long with his mom. And just like that, Ty wins the one competition they had a chance to beat him at. And so the opportunity could come up again. It's just that, again, like, the structure just doesn't really support that when they give so few opportunities, so few windows for people to have a chance at beating a physical player. So we'll see.
I mean, I just also think that the competition isn't that steep for Ty. And it's not even the fact that, you know, they've gotten all the guys out of the house and, you know, the strong women aren't left or whatever, but it's just like all non-comp threats. I mean, that I think if you put Claudia and Renee, put the girly pops in another season, they're probably not winning anything based on the competitions. Because there have been stronger competitors, I guess, like physically and mentally in the past. So it's like it's working out in Ty's favor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we are looking at a season where, Ty is our front runner. It started with a lot of these big guys. At first, we were like, look at these guys. They're going to dominate this game. And then they all targeted each other and got each other in trouble. And then we were like, look at the women this season. Could we have the most woman-dominated season of Big Brother Canada ever? We could have a final 6, a final 7 of just women. Like, this is wild. I can't believe what's happening. This could be the first woman to win Big Brother Canada since Paris and Big Brother Canada 6. Because, yes, it has been that long. And now...
I can't have all three of them here, especially Shania, because she doesn't listen to anybody. Super annoying.
That's what we got.
Yeah, well,
Could
with
be
how
2
the
out of 3
started-
ties.
It's possible. Just with
Yeah.
how the season started, good thing the audience loves an underdog, someone who came from behind.
Yeah.
That is
Big-
Ty.
Big Brother Canada winners. It's now down to, as somebody once said, a couple of guys and a couple of ties.
Oh, boy. Can we fit some Kevins in there? I mean, it's pretty. It's not even that difficult to figure it out. Like, if you look at the end game comp stats, it's like dominated by men. Since Big Brother Canada 6, where women were winning end game comps, men have dominated the end game comps. Women will occasionally win 1 or 2, but the men tend to win almost all of the rest of them. And it shouldn't be surprising then that a woman hasn't won since the men have started dominating these endgame comps. It's very simple, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they just got to change the formula because this is sad.
What are you gonna do other than change the comps a bit more, which seems simple, but look, I don't know. I don't run a show. I don't deal with all the toxicity. So, all right. Anything else from the episode?
Just I'm gonna stop trying to make sense of it, but I'll never understand why she didn't put him up in the first place, and why there's many things why she didn't put him up, why she didn't put Renee up, why is she justifying his explanation? As our friend Mari said, he literally went from saying Nene will only listen to you, not me, she'll only work with you, to she's working with Daniel and Anika, to you don't think she'll eventually come after you? It was just all over the place. But Claudia's like, oh, yeah, okay, Ty, I want to work with you. It's us to the end.
I forgot about the absurdity of this. Let me just quickly reset this, because I know like most of this podcast has been about Claudia, but she says to us the reason she's looking at Shania is because Shania is too close to Daniel and Anika. They have something. Shania has something with Daniel and Anika. They do. She's right. They do have something. It's a final 4 that she is in. She is in the thing with Daniel and Anika. She's like, I think that she might have something. Yeah, you're in the thing. That's the thing that you are in. What do you mean she has something? She just decided one day that Shania was closer to them, which has never really been the case. And decided like, you know what? I'm actually not a part of that final 4, I guess. Actually, I think Shania is, and not me, even though I am a part of it. And it's like, Shania needs to go. She's too threatening. She has a final 4 with me, Claudia, with me, Daniel, and Anika. She's gotta go.
And how dare Ty find out about that final 4? Ugh, koozie. Anika needs to. I need her and Kuzi to have a sit down so Anika can get whatever this is she has against Kuzi. Kuzi is out of the game.
Can I ask a question also? Is Anika's dog named Waffles?
Yes.
So, I mean, that must have been extremely hurtful when Santina told Anika that her waffles are tasteless.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Anika has a lot of her identity wrapped up in her waffles.
Not since Howie has somebody been so cruel about eating somebody else's dog.
Like, is Anika obsessed with waffles that she not only just prepares them constantly in the house, but also named her dog?
I mean, Rob, if I cook something for someone and they're like, "Oh, this has too much cinnamon and too much pepper," I'd probably be pretty mad too.
Yeah, but do you like, are those the two staples in your kitchen, Asia? And that's why you love those foods so much? It's like, I love them so much, I will name my dog after these things.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And is that what happened with the dog Pepperoni, Taran? Did April Lewis love pepperoni so much that that's why she named the dog Pepperoni?
Clearly. And then famously Howie was like, your pepperoni pizza is tasteless. That's why he was talking about eating your dog, you know? It wasn't anything weird.
We figured it out.
Wow.
Well, she was not an experienced waffle maker, so I don't think this is the thing. That was her first go at making waffles from scratch.
That was her dog named Waffles. So I know nothing about this. I like
Maybe
the
she
word.
didn't name
It's not a common dog
maybe
name.
It was a rescue, you know, had its own name already.
A real chicken before the egg situation.
A real waffle before the syrup.
Go to Roscoe's.
Waffles is taking off right now as a dog name. I've seen a lot of dogs named Waffles.
Interesting.
The question now has to be asked because it's a great question. We've seen Wendy's French toast sticks. We've looked at some waffles. What's better? Waffles, pancakes, French toast sticks, or not French toast sticks, but French toast. I think French toast sticks incorporated in the French toast umbrella. What are we? We need an official stance on this as a podcast.
Yeah, I will answer that. I just want to say before we go too far that Asia, wouldn't Woofles be a better name for the dog?
That would be pretty adorable, I will say. But it's like when people hear these names, it just catches on. And I don't know where I workshopped a lot of names before I landed on Pepper, my first dog. And so when one day when I went to pick her up from daycare, I was like, I'm picking up Pepper. And they were like, which one? We have 4 today.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I think it'd be worse calling the vet and being like, I'm checking in Woofles. No, that's WOOF.
Yeah, it's like waffles, but like the sound the dog makes.
Yeah.
I also think probably don't want to name your dog Woofles if you're a podcaster. You don't want to encourage any more woofing.
That's true.
Than is necessary.
That's true.
You also might get mistaken
on the waffles versus pancakes versus French toast sticks.
I'm hands down your waffles, Scally,
versus French toast. Yeah,
I'm hands down pancakes because I feel like people like their waffles like the varying crisp levels. And if they think, oh, I make amazing waffle and it's like crunchy, I'm like, I don't like crispy waffles. I like waffles a specific way, but it's really hard to make a bad pancake, in my opinion.
No, I think that's
so. Yeah.
I think a perfectly made waffle beats everything, but it's much more difficult to make the perfectly made waffle. I think French toast is the easiest. It's really hard to screw up French toast. A bad pancake can happen, you know, like too mushy, like, or maybe too fluffy. Is not is too much fluff.
Not cooked evenly.
Yeah.
Maybe just throw it out. You're like, all right, try another one. Like you have unlimited shots at the pancake. Like the waffle, like I feel like sometimes it's like, all right, this is it. Like there's a lot of pressure on the waffle. Do I open it yet?
I will eat a waffle for breakfast. I will eat a waffle for dinner. I will eat a waffle for a dessert. It's multifaceted. It has many uses.
I mean, commonly paired with chicken. I will say chicken waffles is not a bad meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't pair chicken with French toast or pancakes.
I don't think you would. No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's
So
settled.
waffle more versatile as well.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, what's your say on this?
Boy, I just feel like that a waffle is special. I feel like that pancake is like I feel like you could eat a pancake every day. A waffle, I feel like, is for a special occasion. And French toast, I really don't break out the French toast too often. So I probably would kill French toast.
I think we're officially a waffle podcast.
Mm-hmm. I think I'd ding the waffle, marry the pancake, and kill the French toast.
Yeah, marry the pancake. I would do that.
I think I'd marry the French toast.
Yeah. Well, I aspire to marry a waffle, but I'm aiming high.
Scally, you're looking for that toxic relationship. Yes. Scally, stay away from Ty.
Please.
All right. Anyway, let's talk spoilers. Are we ready for spoilers?
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk some spoilers. Now that we're officially a waffle podcast, we can talk some spoilers.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is
A spoiler.
warning.
A spoiler.
Warning means that an actual
Spoiler.
against this country has been detected and that protective action should be taken.
All right.
Need a spoiler spatula for this.
Well, as we know, Anika nominated Renee and Claudia, leaving Ty off the block with the very convincing promise of, no, I won't use it, to reassure her. And lo and behold, Ty won the veto once again. And he went up to Anika and she said, this is what I imagined happened. She said, great, so you're not going to use it. And he said, yeah, about that, here's the thing.
And that was where she f***ed up.
Yeah. Shouldn't have asked me that. You know what? You shouldn't have asked me that. Now I'm rethinking everything, because the fact that you asked me if I was going to use it or not is telling me that you don't trust me. And so my answer is going to have to change. Actually, I do want to use this. And it's because of your actions, Anika, that I will have to use this veto. And Anika was like, oh, so you're a liar. You just lied to me. He's like, no, actually, you're the liar. I'm only using this veto because you're a liar and you can't be trusted, Anika. And so he used the veto on Claudia to force Daniel on the block. However, he did not want Daniel to leave. He wants Renee to leave because Claudia is not allowed to have friends. And so Renee has been put on the block. And as of today, we saw a conversation between Ty and Claudia where they discussed how they are sending Renee out over Daniel.
Claudia.
How can Cece be so brainless?
Claudia doesn't seize to amaze me. Whatever it is.
She never ceases to amaze you.
Yes.
Never ceases to amaze.
You know what? Maybe all of this gameplay, Claudia, quote unquote gameplay, will all pay off at the final 3 if she wins part 3 and makes the choice. So because of that, if Claudia is in the final 3 and she is making the decision, I will find Taran and record myself and Taran in the background so we can get a reaction, because we need her to actually make a choice. But if she decides to take Ty, I will be just as shocked as I was last year.
I don't know. That would require Claudia standing up, and I feel like she is face down on the ground, covering her ears, just like not paying any, like she's given up. Just like the fact that she's now like, yeah, we're gonna evict Renee. Like, no, what are you doing? Like, I don't know how we got here.
I'm gonna practice my reactions to Claudia winning the final 3 HOH and deciding who to take. So okay, she wins the final 3 HOH. She's taking Ty. Okay. Ready? Okay, now she's won the final 3 HOH. She is cutting Ty. That was just a breath of relief. Just okay. You know. All right.
And that's how emotionally invested we are in this season.
But we'll be able to do it together. Live in Toronto. You can still get your tickets so that you can react with me when it happens to whatever is going to happen. And you can find those tickets at robswebsite.com/Toronto.
Yeah, it's really shaping up to be pretty nice crowd that we have together with us in Toronto for Big Brother Canada. Survivor, unfortunately, is a sold out show. People can still get tickets if they want to see us on night 2 for the Big Brother Canada finale. You never know who's going to stop by as well. Plus, after party to follow.
Yes, we'll party after and drown our sorrows. Or, you know, explode in joy.
Explode in joy? How would that happen?
What results are we getting that you're exploding
I was looking for a
Koozie, the Wendy's points brings Koozie back.
Free
What's the
waffles.
word I was looking for? Reverie, celebration. I still can't find it. Yeah, I just want to explode.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single outcome from these 5 people that would just have me over the moon on finale night.
I do.
What?
On finale night, after everything is said and done, Arissa says, next season, we're bringing back the live feeds. That would be like... that reaction.
Yeah, Claudia is brainless. Like,
anyway, so it does. I think interesting to know. You do get this sense from the drops as well. I think that Ty intends, if possible, to evict Anika at the final 4 and bring Daniel and Claudia to the final 3. That seems like the most likely outcome at this point. That you know, Claudia, if the final 4 veto is physical, I think Ty just wins. If it's not physical, then he has still a chance to win, and Claudia has a great chance to win as well. And so the most likely outcome, I think, next week is that Anika leaves, given that her or Daniel will have to win that final 4 veto. She can't win the final 4 HOH because she's not competing. And so that would bring us to a final 3 of Daniel, Ty, and Claudia. And I would give Ty and Claudia a big advantage over Daniel in parts 1 and 2, which would put Ty up against Claudia in part 3, where as of right now, I would say Claudia beats him. But given the fact that she's giving all of her knowledge to him, who knows? And then we would just have to see if she chooses to bring Ty, which at this point it seems like she would. And then you know, then Ty walks out to confetti.
Confetti.
We will see. I don't know. With any one of these tie wins or votes, I'm just never going to pretend like I know what he's going to do. I will never underestimate his desire to like teach Claudia a lesson and like, you should have listened to what I said and now I'm evicting you. Like,
it
we'll
wouldn't
see.
surprise me if Claudia does teach Ty well enough so that he's able to beat her in part 3. I would give at least 40% odds that he cuts her to bring Daniel.
Yeah.
Which, you know.
How can Cece be so brainless?
Anyway, that's I think that's what we have for you tonight. I think that's a podcast.
There we go.
I just had such high. I know we've talked about endlessly about Claudia, but I just had such high hopes for her. I was thinking outside of the showmance, like she can really have legs in this game, and I could really see her doing something. And here we are. So
Aysha, just because she's short doesn't mean she doesn't have legs. Let's not be cruel.
Yeah, I like to say that I am not short, but then I stand around everybody else, and I am. But 5'4", solid height.
Yeah.
But I just had high hopes. It's very unfortunate, and it's like Ty is using her as just like a, what do you call it, as a piece in this game, right? And he's not even doing it well.
Yeah. Well, that's, I think, an unfortunate reality for many people in life as well. So my heart goes out to all of you that are able to relate to Claudia in the situation.
I guess that brings up a good question. Is it better to be used and by somebody who's doing it well, or be used by somebody who's actually not doing it well?
I personally would prefer to be used by somebody who at least does it well, because I think it's harder to accept that you got duped by somebody who is literally just going, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, it's a different context. This isn't like a romantic thing, but like if I think of Dan and Danielle, it's like he used her well for his game. This is just emotional manipulation that's not even like, oh, I'm doing this to advance myself in the game. It's just like, it just feels like there's no correlation.
Yeah. I mean, like, I went out for my alliance who won the game versus I was in a blender for a man who followed Zach out of the house in week 3. Like, yeah, I think you have the answer.
Almost. The ninja blender.
So
a man who almost broke up with me over a sweater back in the day.
So many close calls.
Yeah. Man, if only that sweater had stayed long enough to prevent all of this from happening. Jonathan should have given Claudia Rob's hat.
Yeah.
That would have solved everything. That would have meant something. All right. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow with another update based on tomorrow's drop, assuming there is one, because we believe that the eviction of Renee happened today, according to the screen in today's drop. So we might get a drop tomorrow post Renee being evicted, or we might get a drop tomorrow pre Renee getting evicted, or we won't get a drop at all. But we will be here for the episode after the episode airs to recap what goes down. That's after Rob finishes up with the know-it-alls, which will be after Survivor airs tomorrow as well. I will be live on Twitch for both of those episodes, watching along. Twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong should be a good time. The Survivor Stock Watch will be coming up here as well. And then Thursday, we'll be back again. Another episode, another podcast. And next week, it all comes together and ends live in Toronto. So be there, because you don't want to not be there. Yeah. Can I make us square? Closer? Not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Rob, what do you got going on?
Oh, well, I'll be back tomorrow to cover Survivor. We got still some coverage for you to check out, including my recap or my feedback show with Hannah Shapiro on Monday night. Had a lot of fun talking things through with Hannah. Always a good time. And today I caught up, of course, with the News AF crew, talking through about some very excited symphony patrons in the Los Angeles area. And then also we talked with Sash Joseph earlier today on Big Deck Energy, talking about episode 4 of Below Deck: Sailing Yacht.
All right. Scally, what do you got?
Anything I'm doing is on Twitter at Brian_Scally, where I'll talk about talking about the Challenge World Championship over on the Doming Holland podcast with Matt Ligori. That's been a fun season, so people should check that out.
And Asia?
Yeah, so y'all can follow me on all social media at Asia like Asia. That's AYSHA like ASIA. Most recently, I joined Grace and Dr. Amanda to talk some Succession this week, so that was really fun. Also, weekly, I have my podcast with Jason Reed, A Perfect Match, where we talk about Married at First Sight over on the Reality TV Wrap-Ups feed. We're trucking along. We're on I think we're talking about episode 18 this week. And the seasons are never ending, but Jason and I are always there for your listening pleasure. You don't even have to watch the show to come enjoy listening to us. And then also I'll be joining the Survivor B&B this weekend. So very excited to talk some Survivor.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us here on this Tuesday of nights. And we will see you on the Wednesday of nights tomorrow and or the next time you see us.